The day everything fell apart, it didn't come with a warning. One moment, life felt normal. The next, it was empty. Have you ever lost so much that you wondered if God was still watching? Have you ever waited and heard nothing but silence? What do you do when the future disappears and heaven says nothing? That was where her story began. It started with hunger, the kind that makes people leave everything they know just to survive. A family packed their lives into hope and crossed into a foreign land, believing it was only temporary. They believed better days were ahead, but instead, death arrived. First, the husband was gone, just like that. No explanation, no goodbye. One breath, then silence. She stood there, numb, trying to be strong, telling herself, at least I still have my sons. But loss was not finished with her. Please like this video, share it with someone, comment and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell for more video like this. Years passed. Her sons married. For a moment, joy returned. Laughter came back into the house. Hope tiptoed in again. Then the unthinkable happened. Both sons died, one after the other. The same house, the same tears, the same unanswered prayers. 3 graves, one broken woman. Her name was Naomi, and she was alone in the land of Moab. She had no husband, no children, no future, only memories and pain. Nights became unbearable. She would lie awake listening to the silence where voices used to be. She prayed, she cried, she whispered God's name into the darkness. Nothing happened. Days turned into weeks, weeks into years, still nothing. No comfort, no miracle, no sign. God felt distant, cold, quiet. She began to wonder if God was punishing her or if he had simply forgotten. Have you ever felt that way? Like your prayers hit the ceiling and fall back down? Naomi did, and the silence hurt more than the loss. One night, the weight became too heavy. The questions broke through her strength.
Why, God? Why take everything from me? Why leave me alive just to suffer?
She felt bitter, empty, ashamed for even hoping again. She decided to stop waiting. If God wasn't speaking, she would move anyway. She chose to return to Bethlehem, back to the place where her story once made sense. As she walked, she told the women with her,
Don't call me Naomi anymore. Call me Mara, because my life is bitter.
That's how deep the pain was. But she didn't know something important. God had already started moving. It didn't come as thunder, no fire from heaven, no loud voice, just a quiet decision from someone else. A young woman named Ruth refused to leave her, refused to abandon Naomi to her sorrow.
Where you go, I will go. Your God will be my God.
Naomi didn't see it yet, but this was the shift. A small step, a quiet mercy, a seed planted in pain. They arrived in Bethlehem with empty hands, but unseen hands were already working. Food was scarce, dignity was gone. Ruth went to gather leftover grain from the fields just to survive. What Naomi didn't know was whose field it was. Every step Ruth took looked ordinary, but heaven was guiding her feet. She ended up in the field of a man named Boaz, a man of kindness, a man of honor, a man connected to Naomi's past. And suddenly, the story changed. Favor replaced hunger, protection replaced fear, provision replaced emptiness. God was no longer silent. He was precise. What Naomi thought was punishment was preparation. What felt like abandonment was alignment. Boaz became a redeemer, not just for land, but for legacy. Ruth married him. Life returned to the house of sorrow. Laughter replaced mourning. And then a child was born. Naomi held the baby in her arms. Tears fell again, but this time they were different. This child would grow into a family line, a line that would lead to King David, and generations later to Jesus himself. The woman who thought her story had ended in loss was standing at the beginning of redemption. Naomi lost everything, but God was not finished. The silence was not rejection. The waiting was not wasted. The pain was not meaningless. God was writing a bigger story, quietly, faithfully, perfectly. If you are in a season of loss, if heaven feels silent, if your prayers feel unanswered, remember Naomi. God may be silent, but he is never absent, and even now he may be preparing redemption right behind your pain. Don't stop watching. Don't stop hoping. God is not finished with your story.